Today we're back talking about the Counter-Strike markets once again, hopefully updating you guys and catching up to speed on all of the craziness that has happened in the past couple of days since my last video, specifically talking about these issues and what is going on, most specifically with the peer-to-peer trading websites. Because as you can see, right now, I'm recording this on the morning of April 6th. This is what CS Float still looks like. You currently cannot purchase or sell items due to Steam changes. Learn more, and it says here, Steam updates. Valve has recently pushed a series of updates that change how peer-to-peer sites track trades. As a result, we're not allowing new purchases, listings, or deposits at the moment. All open sales will have their timers extended until the maintenance period concludes. We'll keep you updated on Twitter as we work on this. Thank you for their patience. So, pretty crazy, especially with how big and how popular and how important to the CS market, CS Float specifically, but also tons of other websites like it, like Buff163, Buff Market, GamerPay. How big and rapidly growing and rapidly more important that these sites have become to the CS markets and trading and liquidity and investments and all this stuff over the past year. This is very, very, very crazy, and it's gotten a lot of people worried, a lot of people scared, a lot of people panicking. It's gotten obviously the owners of these things. It's gotten investors, traders, cash traders, people with even just the average players of the game who have inventories and items. People who people who play the game or have skins. If you bought a knife for $500, even if it's just to play the game, you still bought that knife expecting it to have some kind of value and retainability and the options to be able to resell it at some point. And again, if we lose these peer-to-peer trading websites, or if Valve is set on, kind of taking them down or stopping them or whatever, or stopping gambling and taking these sites down in the process, that is going to remove a lot of liquidity and a lot of ease of use for so many members of the community for these markets. And maybe Valve doesn't care about that. Maybe they shouldn't. Maybe they do. I don't really know what the correct answer is there. It's obviously a very, very complex and crazy situation. But definitely in the short term, that could hurt prices and things a lot. Now, again, I think in the long run, I'm still very, very optimistic. I believe that the CS community has gotten through Valve taking down certain sites and trading and changing and stuff like that before. And that at the end of the day, the skins community, the skins market, skins investing is going to continue on. We could see a big dip. We could see a market crash. We could see some panic. I don't know. Nobody knows for sure. So far, crazily enough, prices haven't really dropped down that far. We haven't really seen anything too ridiculous. I don't know. We can pull up the Esport Fire Indexes, kind of all items graph real quick. I don't know if this will load. Honestly, prices, this is crazy, prices have actually started to rebound over the past couple of days. We're actually higher now than we were a couple of days ago, really before any of this craziness happened. So the markets have not been getting affected. Now, I know some people are going to say, hey, the markets can't crash if nobody can sell or whatever, but there are still trading sites that are working. I don't know. But like I said, in this video, I just wanted to go over all the latest and get you guys up to date on everything that's been going on. But again, as of right now, Float still is not allowing purchasing or selling of items. So here's everything that's happened over the past couple of days, at least from what I got from a bunch of bookmark tweets and stuff that I have here. Anomaly said on April 4th, so 2 days ago, I sold some skins early today on Buff, delivered like 5 hours ago, and the trades went through. Still, Buff does not recognize the trades as complete because of the changes with API and says delivery timeout. I hope I'll get the balance for the skins I sold. So again, he, at least 2 days ago, was having problems with Buff. That was an issue. That was being weird, whatever. This guy, ABQ, he says, new Buff announcement, orders exceeding 300 RMB will be settled in 12 hours after the offer is completed. Please wait patiently for the system to pass. So it seemed like Buff was maybe going through and like manually, checking or pushing a lot of these through. So they were going for the ones over 300 to like really, make sure they're okay or whatever. I don't really know. But it seemed like, hey, they were saying, don't worry, we're going to push all this stuff through. It's going to be fine, whatever. Now we had some people talking about how Zipple was saying that all the marketplaces got together, all the marketplaces, trading sites, and pricing tools and databases got together in a Discord. This is the beauty of CS skins. I don't know if this is a tweet where Zipple talks about it. Yeah, I don't know. But there was, apparently they said, a lot of these websites and stuff started talking together and talking about ways that they could continue skin trading or running these marketplaces, running these websites, allowing, like I said, for that increased liquidity in the community and all that stuff. It does seem like these sites are willing to work together. The Gamer Pays, the CS Floats, some of these other sites as well. It does seem like they're kind of teaming up and trying to all coexist, and that kind of idea that like the rising tide lifts all boats, or that, hey, if we're all going down, we might as well work together, because if we can save one of us, maybe we can save each other or whatever. But it does seem like Zipple and a lot of these guys are optimistic that there will be some kind of workarounds possible. I don't think anyone really at this point expects that this is the end of Float or the end of Gamer Pay or the end of, like I said, Buff or anything like that. Things might change. Things might be different. It might take a while. Things might never be the same. Things might not be as easy or convenient or whatever as they have been. Maybe they will be, but we've kind of been in like the golden era of ease of use of selling items and trading and investing and all that stuff. And maybe stuff's going to start to get a little bit more harder, a little bit complex, a little bit more annoying. But honestly, in some ways, that'll be bad for the community. But again, in the long run, I don't really think it'll matter. But honestly, the harder it gets to invest and be involved in this stuff, that can increase the gains in a weird way, because if there's more hurdles and more hoops to jump through than the people who actually do it, there's going to be less overall investors and less investors in the market if the game continues to be popular and people still want the items and buy the stuff, whatever. That can actually increase decrease your competition and increase your chances of making money. So in some weird ways, sometimes weird stuff like this can actually increase profitability in the markets. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That's just one kind of thought and idea. This guy said, I'm sure that Valve will allow some of the legitimate and trustworthy skin sites to utilize their API endpoints, but at a cost. If I'm not mistaken, currently their API calls are free to use, but they still incur costs for Valve. So that's actually an interesting thought that, like, right now, this is at least allegedly, I don't know that this to be true, but say this was true, that Float and Buff and all these sites are using, maybe not Buff because it sounds like Buff does it differently, but like Gamer Pay and Float and all that stuff, they're using some of Valve's, whatever calls or API calls or whatever for free, even though it's costing money for Valve. If Valve did start charging them, it seems like that would be reasonable. Now, hey, that might lead to increased fees or whatever, like the websites might not be as good, I don't know, but again, it wouldn't make sense if Valve's just eating up these costs for these websites to just kind of make a killing on trading or whatever. I don't know, but maybe that's not even what's happening, but I thought this was at least an interesting idea and theory that I wanted to share. I hope I don't wake up to Valve making skins not tradable and not marketable. Obviously, that would be a disaster. What if Gaben is cooking and renewing the Steam market with lesser tax and a new UI? They're closing all the other sites' API access just to make a new private API that can monopolize the entire market. That would be absolutely crazy. But whatever. Then we got some more people actually talking about what's going on with these sites and what sites are working, what's not, and whatever. So Valve has now turned off the ability for websites to validate trades as of 4/4/24. This is changing by the hour. Every site that uses peer-to-peer will no longer be able to confirm whether a trade actually went through. All marketplaces, gambling sites will have to use bots or extensions to make sure the trades go through correctly, or maybe they have you log in with your username and password to get full access to your account. This is definitely to make it so Valve can easily ban gambling site bots, but they will not die from this, as they can still function with crypto using an extension to verify trades. Marketplaces will have to completely restructure how they function and probably won't work for a few days. But again, even Arrow here is saying that he only believes that some of these sites won't work for a couple days and does think that they will be back soon. But again, Arrow's also saying that it won't even stop gambling sites from being able to function or completely exist or whatever. This is what a lot of people are saying, that Valve is doing some stuff, but in a weird way, and in probably a way at the end of the day, it's not going to stop gambling, but it's just going to make it a lot harder for sites that people really know and love and have been finding a lot of convenience with lately. The last endpoint peer-to-peer marketplaces could use to validate trades was just turned off by Steam. This is all that piece of shit CS:GO Empire's fault. Seriously, all Gambit sites should go to hell. I hope Buff finds a way out of this. Pretty crazy. I see a lot of people saying that bot trading isn't so bad. Have we so soon forgotten about the Skinport community ban that happened just a few weeks back? There are massive downsides to using trading bots. It's not just the fact that you can't use your skins while selling. Again, yes, you're also then having to send your skins to a bot and trust that your skins are being kept safe, that those bots aren't going to get banned, that I don't know, just losing the full access and control over your skins can be very, very, very scary. And again, that's what this guy's saying, that the peer-to-peer sites allow you to actually keep them in your inventory, has a lot of extra safety layers and a lot of extra protection and stuff like that as well. But then later on April 4th, it did say this, Buff seems to be back to normal again. But what was super weird is that we started hearing that Buff wasn't back to normal. Buff works, Buff doesn't work, Buff works, Buff doesn't work. My friend sells on Buff 1 minute ago, went successfully. I don't know the exact situation right now, but since the news be like broke, back to normal, so many people were saying that Buff was working for them and then Buff wasn't working for them, and I don't know. Then we got people saying, hey, I sold this on Buff and got the balance right away. Well, got Buff balance, made the purchase, got knife, and that was on April 4th, April 5th. So it seems like, Buff started working more and more, and then, more people saying, hey, Buff's working, people are selling, people are getting the balance. That's great news, but like I showed you, a day later on April 6th, Float still not up and working, so what the heck is going on here? I know Swoos put out this, Swoosy, I don't even know how you say it. He put out a tier list of the different sites that have bot trading, because again, people were not able to use peer-to-peer sites and stuff like that, so if you have to go to bot trading, you at least want to use the good sites. He says CS Deals is the best. He says, here's what he thinks. I know some people are saying CS Deals is trash. Overall, to me, it seems like a lot of the bot trading sites are trash. And I don't know. They're just kind of good and bad about any of them. Peer-to-peer is just way better, but whatever. If you have to make do with what you got, maybe this is something to check out. Maybe you want to take a look at this tier list. I don't know. Some people said here, in all seriousness, how bad is bot trading? Really don't think there's risk for for legitimate sites, and it allows Counter-Strike to ban gambling bots. Only downside is not being able to play with a skin while it's on sale. Again, that's not the only downside. That is a downside, but it's not the only one. So let me sum it up. Valve updated to Steam API 3 days in a row in real time to react and tackle whatever solution the gambling sites came up with. I mean, VAC has been easy to dodge since 2002, except if you're a legit AMD user, which is funny. So Valve is combating gambling sites who are trying to use their API, but they won't ban cheaters, which a lot of people are kind of getting upset with as well. But again, as Float and Buff and whatever keep trying to make changes to be able to actually use their site, again, those gambling sites are using those same loopholes and same workarounds, so then they're kind of getting shut down and banned or whatever. So I don't know. It's not just like, create a loophole for Float or Buff or whatever, because then the gambling sites are going to be able to use those as well. Feels like we're going in circles. Back when OP skins shut down, the skins community will live on. Again, this is a very good thing. Again, we've seen big sites, we've seen the market change, how trading works change, whatever, and we get a dip and we get a crash and we get a panic and stuff sometimes, but stuff always rebounds. So you have to keep that in mind at the end of the day as well. People saying, guys, it's so fucking over, which is funny. I don't even know why. Like Dragon Lords being listed for 1 RMB, I don't even know. All kinds of different big skins. Buff is working now. So again, it did seem like a lot of people were saying Buff is working, and I can't say that up until this point it does seem like Buff is completely working. But what we got from a lot of the trading sites, finally, the latest updates on stuff like SkinBid, GamerPay, Skinport, stuff like that. Here is where we're at currently. SkinBid put out a statement that said, our team has been working very hard on fixing all the issues that appeared because of recent Steam changes. We're also preparing for a temporary solution. We expect to be able to restart buying and selling on SkinBid in 2 days at the latest. This is on April 4th. So again, SkinBid claiming they'll be able to start back up on April 6th, April 7th, sometime like that. We'll have to wait and see, but they are looking for temporary solutions. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with SkinBid. GamerPay saying, update, Valve's pushed several updates over the night that impact the abilities for peer-to-peer markets to verify trades. We are continuously working hard on a solution, but for now have disabled the ability to purchase and list items. Existing sales are kept open until we can verify the trades either manually or automatically again. Rest assured your money is in safe hands, so kindly be patient as it will take longer for trades to be verified. So again, they're claiming that everything is safe, everything's under control, everything's okay, but again, GamerPay has disabled all that stuff. Here was our latest update 8 hours ago. They said we are working towards allowing people to trade again, but we expect a proper solution to take a bit of time. Alongside working on a new way to trade, we have been manually handling trades. Around 1,000 trades have been handled where we made sure money either has been sent correctly to seller or refunded to buyers. A little side note, we also canceled more than 4,000 trades. We were unsure if they could be processed properly and did not want to put unnecessary risk on either buyer or seller. We still have a few outstandings, but we'll be all fine within the next few days, and then it's clean sheet. This is our main priority, to make sure people get what is rightfully theirs, and with that in mind, we really appreciate the patience and support from all our customers. Lastly, we're working on a little nice thing, which we will share more about tomorrow. Don't know what the heck that means, but whatever, cool. Zuckwiz, one of the guys involved with GamerPay, said another update on the team below. It's obviously not ideal that we can't just open up, but I must admit it hurts considering the insane trajectory we're on. We have some good plans, and I look forward to share more. So again, that's an owner or somebody to do with the site saying that GamerPay he thinks will be okay in the long run, which again has to be good news for sites like Float and Buff and everything like that. Skinport saying, our browser extension Skinport Plus does not collect any Steam account credentials or hijack your session. Recently, a well-known browser extension has started collecting your Steam cookies, which grants him full access to your Steam account, enabling them to read your private Steam chats, for example. We would never request such information, which is pretty crazy, pretty interesting. And again, what they are kind of hinting at is CS Float, who said this. CS Float is rolling out a temporary update to our extension that enables the ability to verify trades similar to sites such as Buff163. This is an opt-in system and intended to verify the current, existing, and pending sales on the site. This functionality has to be explicitly enabled by the user in order to verify pending sales. Long term, we're working on more privacy-centric solution for verifying trades. So again, Float is just saying they're not turning on buying on just yet, but for the trades that were stuck in limbo or we're still going on right now, they are implementing this solution so that you can kind of brute force it through or whatever. But again, that's by doing some getting more and more access to your account and actually being able to look at more stuff, which some people are scared of. Some people are worried about. Whatever. I don't know. Is Float trustworthy worthy, whatever. Again, people are saying this is the same methods that Buff163 uses and people have been okay with and whatever. But it's also people saying, hey, if Float was to have a data breach or get hacked or whatever, if Buff163 was to get hacked, have a data breach or whatever, then people would be very fucked. I don't know. Is it worth it? Is it not? Again, it doesn't seem like the safest in the long run, even though Float does seem obviously very, very reputable and very reliable. So I don't know. That's where we're at the end of the day. Again, weirdly enough, the market is not crashing. Weirdly enough, the market is going up. And I think that is because right now, there are still trading sites working. There is still bot trading sites out there that are working 100% fine. The Steam Marketplace is still working 100% fine. Buff163, Buff Market right now are working. The only sites that are really having issues are the Western peer-to-peer trading sites, stuff like SkinBid, stuff like GamerPay, and stuff like Float. Now, they are a very, very big part of the market share, but trading is not dead. Trading has not stopped. People are just having to go to different places, maybe jump through more hoops, maybe pay some more fees, whatever. And it is causing some panic, some crisis, some whatever. But at the end of the day, again, maybe people are unable to sell off. Maybe people aren't selling off. I don't know. Or maybe people just think that everything's still okay and everything's still going to work out, whatever. I don't really know for sure. But again, at this time, a lot of those Western sites still are looking for answers, looking for options. And it seems like the owners of all these sites are not panicking too much just yet. They do think they should hopefully be up and running in the next couple of days, within the weeks or whatever. But again, in the meantime, it does seem like, at least from what I've heard, Buff Market, Buff163, all the bot trading sites, these things are working just fine. But I guess we don't really know what Valve's going to do next, and that's kind of the curveball in this whole situation. I don't know. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.